Over the last several years in the entertainment industry, specifically in Hollywood, we've seen this massive push for diversity at all costs. Regardless of whether it makes sense with the story you're telling, it's an effort to make people check all these boxes off. And it's gotten so ludicrous that now, in order to qualify for awards in the United States, you have to have mandatory diversity or else you're not going to be considered for any awards. Well, there are still some places where that's not the case, and especially when it comes to independent films and things like that, that's not necessarily how everyone's doing business. So when Mads Mikkelsen, the star of a new movie that debuted at the Venice Film Festival just a few days ago, and his director, Nikolaj Arcel, were asked, hey, why isn't there any diversity in your movie that's set in the Netherlands in the 1750s? Why isn't there enough black people in that? They had a very interesting response. Mads Mikkelsen roasts journalists asking why his 1750s Danish film doesn't have more diversity. And there is a small clip, a short clip, a 20-second clip that's going around and making the rounds today, which made me want to check into this. There's a much longer and more detailed response that is very, very interesting. Now, this is a movie called The Promised Land. I gotta be honest, I had no idea about this movie until this story was coming out. It's a Danish film, it's a historical drama, and it debuted at the Venice Film Festival. And when they were sitting there answering questions about the movie, this is the question that they got.
Hello, I'm from Denmark, and it's a pleasure to be here. So you're a little bit into it. This is a cast and a Danish production, which is entirely Nordic. It therefore has some lack of diversity, you would say, as also new rules are implied in Hollywood.
What are you on to?
Sorry, but
from the get-go.
From the get-go, there is...
You can see Mads already is fed up with this fucking question. Now, I will say, when we listen to this entire question, it seems like the journalist is, questioning the American rules and the Hollywood rules and if those should be in place, all those things. But the way it comes off is that he's asking, why isn't there more diversity in this movie?
Set some rules of diversity across the Atlantic for competing in the best picture, the equivalent to this competition. As I see it, you don't live up to these standards with this broadcast, and there is just curious, it's not because of artistic reasons, it's because of lack of diversity that this can't compete in that competition. Are you worried about that?
Are you? I'm serious and honest, because you're putting us on the spot, so yeah, you answer the question.
No, because I have, in comparison, Parasite, which is cool.
Like, obviously, Matt, this is irritating to him. It's irritating that an independent movie that's set in 1750s, a Danish family from the 1750s, and the question's getting asked about fucking diversity in the movie, a Danish production.
What do you think?
I was thinking that Parasite was a great movie coming from South Korea, had the same level of diversity, but coming from South Korea, this was actually still eligible for the competition. You, as a Danish movie with an all Nordic cast, is not. And that's what I think is a little bit conundrum here.
And so when you listen to the whole journalist question, I don't think he's necessarily like criticizing it. I think he's talking about almost the hypocrisy of, in America, right? You can have Parasite, which doesn't have diversity. It just simply has Korean people, right? That's not diverse, but it falls within the rules for the Hollywood Awards. But this movie would not. I think that's the question he's really trying to get to.
I don't understand the question.
Okay.
Well, first of all, the film takes place in Denmark in the 1750s.
Yeah.
We do have a big plot line, about a girl of color who is being subjected to racism.
Okay.
And and which was very rare. Any people of color in Denmark in
Yes.
almost nobody. She was probably at the time the only one in the entire country of Denmark.
She was probably the only one in the country of Denmark, but we got the one. We got one in there if you want one.
So it was, I would say that it hasn't been, it wasn't a thought in our mind that I think it would be a little weird, if it's just a historical,
exactly.
How it was in the 1750s.
That's also what I was portraying for.
Yeah. Cool.
Like, the fact that we continue to have these conversations, right? If somebody Again, if someone wants to make Parasite, whatever. If someone wants to do an African period piece and it's an all-black cast, an all-African cast, and there's no white people, do you think people are going to be asking these questions because it's an all-Nordic cast? This is the case. I love the fact that Mads hopped right on this, is clearly pissed that anyone's even asking these type of ludicrous questions. But I really think from the journalist's perspective, he wasn't necessarily trying to shame them for not having diversity. He was trying to ask if, have you thought about the fact that it's not eligible for awards in the United States because of these rules? Either way, very interesting to see this going viral. What do you guys think about this? Let me know in the comments section below. Smash a like button, subscribe to the channel, ring the bell for notifications, share this video out there, and I'll talk to you later.